Hello everyone, I am Randa Allafi, a PhD student at University of Sussex, Department of Engineering and Informatics in the United Kingdom. I'm glad to have a chance to present my work through international conference on teaching, education and learning. Today, I would like to share you my paper under the title Importance of Assistive Mobile Applications for Dyslexic Students in Saudi Arabia. First, let me talk a bit about the education situation since last year. Worldwide, education systems have been affected by COVID-19, with many countries suspending physical engagement within their educational institutions to minimize the pandemic's massive impact. Therefore, mobile learning, which is e-learning, has become more important than ever in supporting learning flexibility and availability. Actually, much research has been conducted in measuring the benefits of using mobile applications as a learning platform for students in general, but also specifically for students with learning disabilities such as dyslexia. Now, let's explain the meaning of dyslexia. It is described as a disorder manifested by difficulty in learning to read. This specific learning disorder is language-based. It is noted that approximately up to 15% of the world's population may have dyslexia. Here are some of the benefits of using mobile applications for dyslexic students. Actually, mobile applications are a part of the daily life and can help individuals to have greater functionalism through the use of learning aids for populations with dyslexia. Also, games are noted to be one means of giving students enhanced learning opportunities via mobile mediums. These individualized tools can help dyslexic students improving their reading skills. A game-based interactive system is proposed and implemented by this study as an ideal solution for providing assistive technological intervention to improve reading within the Arab dyslexic population. In my paper, I focus on developing a mobile application in terms of a set of games, and each game has a set of questions aimed to enhance Arabic dyslexic students' reading skills. Now, let's see what the previous studies have stated to support the benefits of games in enhancing dyslexic students' reading skills. The first study stated that current research shows that games designed for mobile devices have considerable potential to encourage learning in dyslexic population. The second study noted that a set of games for children with dyslexia is one means of improving the learning process. The third study noted that the use of games and apps in Arabic to assist students with dyslexia has been explored using verbal and non-verbal components. Here, I would like to explain a brief background of Arabic language, as this is the target language in the proposed mobile application. Arabic language is written from right to left, and although it only contains 28 letters, is relatively orthographically complex. Arabic letters are written in cursive style, with all 28 being able to be consonants. Meanwhile, 3 of them can also be long vowels, as you can see here in the 3 letters. Words are typically constructed from 3 consonant rows, that can be used in verbal templates, whereas nominal templates are typically used for three consonantal nouns. There are letters that are sharing the same shape, and the position of dots is the only difference between them. As you can see here in the examples, we have a set of letters are very similar in shapes. Note that these letters have similar forms but different sounds. When dyslexic students write these letters, there are various errors made. The most common errors include omitting letters, adding letters, substituting letters, and transposing letters. Now, let's move to the section which shows us the specific issues are facing by Arabic dyslexic students. The problems addressed in the proposed application are letter position dyslexia, which is also called transposition of letters. It occurs when letters are transposed. It is possible that letters get reversed by changing the position of letters. In the example, in this word, yakbutun being written as yaktubun, such a transposition would change the meaning from the pent up to the right. The second issue is developmental visual dyslexia. This is visual errors involving substitutions, omissions, and additions of letters. Let's see the examples. The first example, which is example of substitution, in the word kitan, which means linen, they mean to write kitab, which means a book. The example of omissions occurs if a student writes the word manzil, which means house, instead of manazil, which means houses. The example of addition of letter occurs when instead of writing walad, which means a boy, they write walid, which means a father. These mentioned errors create mixed errors and further increase students' problems as dyslexic individuals. Now, I would like to explain the main features in the proposed application. Actually, previous research was used to acquire the system features to include in this system. The following components in assistive technologies are needed to support dyslexic population. Firstly, simple design. Since many dyslexic students cannot recognize a specific icon's purpose without great mental effort, it is important to design an application or other assistive technology with this in mind. Secondly, navigation should be possible via a simple design. A student should be able to easily navigate between colors, options, and words. Navigation can be difficult for dyslexic students, so including an arrow to directly move forward or backward is a problematic design feature. Instead, having only the needed arrow on the screen is better, or even choosing to have the program designed to automatically proceed for following a student's input, and this is what that system has. So designing the identity of a home icon is a way to address this problem. In addition, being mindful of not including too many shapes or colors is important. So these should be limited to only a few basic colors. No more than 2 images should be layered in the interface to also encourage understanding rather than confusion. Designing an application that has fewer main menu options and will appear full screen even on mobile devices. Third one is audio support. Students with dyslexia need to be able to hear the words. Consequently, having an audio feature is vital. Providing audio with each and every image and text, if possible, is very important. Last one is providing feedback to students during the learning process. This is very important, so students are aware of their mistakes and can self-correct them as part of learning process. There is also some choice built in, so students can choose the words that the system reads to them. Since reading the words correctly may be uncommon for these students, including simple words, encouraging sounds, and feedback to give help with immediate correction of misconceptions. The audio format included will also help students who are motivated. For example, they may hear clapping. Feedback in these forms is very important. Based on the above mentioned recommendations, this work proposes and implements a game-based application consisting of words to be used in mobile devices like both the iOS and Android operating systems. The words used in proposal should follow the frequency in the specific target language. In our case, we used the Arabic language, hence words were selected based on the student's curriculum. Here the number and age of a student who participated in this study. This study contains the participants who are in 3rd to 5th grade. Those students have been diagnosed with dyslexia and are enrolled in public primary schools in Saudi Arabia. A total of 11 students in both genders who were between the ages of 8 to 10 participated in the study, with self-reports disclosing no prior diagnosis of any learning disabilities. Now, let's move to the section which describes the intervention in terms of the mobile application. The proposed application is formulated with 4 games. Each game is targeting a dyslexic issue and each of them is distinct from another game. The first game is matching up and requires the student to respond to a total of 5 questions. Each question presented in this introductory module has 2 text and 2 corresponding images. And microphone icon is collocated next to each picture and is linked to audio. And the student can play the audio with no limited times. The second game, word construction. The students have to tap a specific balloon to choose a specific letter to make one connected and correct word. There are 2 chances in terms of trials for each question with a total of 10 questions. The third game is letters bank. Students will respond to 10 questions in this game as they select the ordering of letters to form words and then choose the correct word from 2 choices. The fourth game is listening words. It also contains 10 questions. So the students have to click on the speaker icon to hear the word and recognize it to choose the correct word between 2 choices. So the preliminary results of this study showed promising prospects in such context for mobile learning, especially for dyslexic students. Students showed very positive attitudes toward the proposed mobile application, leading to better engagement with Arabic language learning. So the main results are differences were noted by the students with dyslexia, and while the data is preliminary, it is anticipated that the participant scoring is improved. These observations support documented research on the issue. Most of the students demonstrated high performance based on their score achievements. They no longer needed constant reading assistance, and their word recognition had become more instantaneous and less labor intensive. Most of the participants share these common results. Students were excited to participate in this learning experience using the application. The conclusion of this study: given the potential benefits of a mobile application for children with special learning needs, we focused on designing an application directed at improving children's fundamental learning skills through the use of advanced technology in terms of learning. This study sought to combine this technology with learning by creating a mobile application that can be operated over Android and iOS devices. This study supports the findings of the previous studies, which focus on Arabic dyslexic students using learning techniques. It is concluded that such a technology improves the outcome of students with dyslexia and making them more confident, especially in the classroom once this is applied as a teaching tool. These are some of the references I have used in this study.